Close up. Oh, no. No. He was there. Is he gonna die to the dot? Is he gonna die to the dot? Please don't die to the dot. Please don't die. Don't die. He's dead. Restart. Oh, that was sad. That was sad. I got distracted. That was sad. That was unnecessary. That was a very, very good one, too. I feel like that one had really, really nice potential. Ah! Try Sentinel. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Here's the thing why I'm not doing this with Sentinel. I know that if I were to do this with Sentinel, I would hit the boss. I know I would, for a fact, hit the boss all the goddamn time. Because it's a range attack. I would accidentally just slip with my mouse at some point and would tag the boss. And you have seen it, right? It doesn't take much. Just being smacked slightly once is going to be enough to ruin it. That Colomath, he was at 10,000, I think. Which at that point was his 4 HP. Well, it was actually the first one who spawned in 2. Which was extra unlucky. And just getting super close to him, just once, was enough to end him. That's a bad selection. Thrust is good. I'm running right now. I'm keeping him behind me and focus the enemy in the opposite direction. That is also what I was doing. I tried to be a bit more efficient with killing the enemies because that is actually one of the things that I noticed in the first attempt. If I just spend all my time running away from the enemies, I don't get any actual killing done. And if I don't get any actual killing done, then eventually they will overwhelm me with AoEs and debuffs and all that shit. Especially with a bunch of Colomaths around. So I really try to be efficient about my killing in here as well. We don't need this one. Big armor increase. Interesting later, but for the moment I just want the damage. Alright, Festering Strike and Subdue. I want them both. I really, really want them both. But I think at the moment, Subdue probably going to be the better option in here. I hope Festering Strike shows up again very soon as well. Crit damage, never a bad thing. Never ever a bad thing. And lethality being a huge critical strike chance boost. That's nice. It's very, very nice. I'm honestly not sure if I really want to go for Bloodlust again, because getting Bloodlust to a point where it's decent, not even good, but decent, is kind of grating. So I'm not sure if I really want to go through that again, but on the other hand, what else am I going to go for, right? Could go for Piercing Shout, I guess. It does deal damage, at least to some degree. Nah, I don't think we can. I'm gonna take the Thunderclap just because it aims directly in front of me. I don't like it, but I also don't hate it. And it's frontal, it's physical, and frontal and physical stuff is what we want in here. Movement speed, we need that. We're gonna see another extra dash at some point. That's what we really, really need to succeed in here. Kill that clown. Cast frequency, you know what? Let's give it a try. I don't think Thunderclap is really going to be the run-defining thing, but it might give us the occasional big burst of damage that might end up being run-defining. Now we have to be careful. Gonna take the Poison Bolt in here, but same situation as I have explained before. It is a projectile ability, so I really, really need to be careful about accidentally not throwing that into my enemy's boss's face. We're gonna replace that one for sure when given the chance. Take this. Quick question, what's your job like? Dreadful. Dreadful. It's absolutely dreadful. So the bad thing about my job is that it is a job that would... No! He was right in front of me. So the bad thing about my job is that it's one of those jobs that would not need to exist if everything would just work as intended. And I think that is always something that I just have a very personal gripe with. This is bad. I'm gonna try to banish one. This is bad. This is bad, 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 bad in all sorts of ways. I'm gonna take the Meteor Shower. We have to move as far away from Colomath as possible. Also, thanks for being Colomath. I hate it. But yeah, basically I'm working in customer support for a bank, which means that the only people who will ever call me are those who have something that doesn't work. Or in theory have something that does work but are too lazy to use it and thus call me in order to do the thing for them. And those are both things that I have a very, very low level of tolerance for. So technically I'm the worst person for my job, but I'm still doing it pretty good. Movement speed, even though a small one. There's a Bozo over here. Colomath, he has been teched only once at the very beginning, so the meteor strike hasn't hit him yet. Yeah, if people wouldn't be stupid or competent, it would not be necessary. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. And let's be real, that goes for a lot of jobs these days. And I think that is one of the reasons as for why so many people are unhappy with their jobs. Or just having jobs in general. Okay, that's Bloodlust. We're gonna take it. I was contemplating about not taking it in the beginning, but now I'm taking it just because I wanted it out. I didn't want it to have my slots anymore. Colometh cometh, and I am not going to be there for that. I am just going to proceed in this direction. Kill the big ones, so we don't have too many big ground AoEs to worry about. I'm gonna take some armor. Some armor might be kind of nice. There's a lot of small enemies there. And Colometh coming right behind, so just keep on moving. Just keep on running along. Even if this attempt ends up failing, this is actually going to be a fun learning experience because it helps me be a bit more mindful about having projectiles. So maybe this is actually going to be what makes me convert into doing this stuff with the Huntress later down the pipeline. I don't think so, because I intend to win this run right off the bat. But if we don't, I don't know. I don't know. Then maybe then will be the Huntress, the Sentinel's time to shine. More armor. I'm gonna take some extra experience gain and some extra magnetism. The magnetism actually... I almost aimed at him with my poison bolts, goddammit. The magnetism actually a lot more valuable for this because fast strike, thank you very much. Because we don't actually kill the bosses and therefore are not likely to get the crystals out of them for the immediate magnetism. So being able to get the experience that these fools drop left and right a bit more efficiently is going to be super useful. With Damahe, try to let that crystal stay alive. 20% through the ordeal. Keep going. I love my job. That's good. I know that you do. I know that you do. Multicast chance, double slash, 60%. That is a good one. That is a good one. That is a very good one. There's a lot of enemies around in here. And Colometh, while close-ish by, is not super close by. How do I treat this? I do kind of want to have the might, but we've already invested into all the other abilities. Now we're just going to leave it behind. No might for me. This is as good as it will get. There's Colometh, and him coming means that I am leaving. Cast because we're on the thrust. Sure. Sure, why not? Really would have liked to not destroy it. Well, it didn't matter too much on the last attempt, so maybe we're gonna be good on this one too. Oh, hi. Came from that angle. Not needed. Multicast on the thrust is huge. Again. Let's aim in this direction. You destroyed him. Up here. Hey there, bud. Bye. There's some small fry. Not mattering too much. 50% extra damage is huge. Column is below me, so we can keep extending a little bit more into this direction. Take the poison. Got a big fella over there. There's probably a bunch of experience lying there, but we have to take that on the next lap, I think. Leave this behind. Extra damage on the subdue. That is good. That is very good. And don't go too deep into that direction. Still ways off from the next boss spawning in. I mean, I have hard days at work too. Sometimes I just have very hard moments at work. I remember that one day, it was actually this week, I had a woman on the phone. I don't know what it is about that woman. She was not impolite or anything like that, but there was something grating about her voice that made me be like, okay, you know what? I need to take 5 minutes right now. I was actually exhausted after talking to that woman, just because of how she spoke and what she said. And I can't put my finger on it what exactly it was, but it was just there and it got under my skin so hard. Stuff like that sometimes happens. Extra poison on the enemies for applying bleed. We have 3 abilities. Yeah, 3 abilities that apply bleed. 2 abilities, I think, only. Yeah. So them also applying poison is pretty good. And maybe we can get that poison to then apply doom effects as well, making killing even more simple. So Columeth is all the way up in there, and there's a lot of enemies around in here. And there is boss number 2 going to spawn in a moment. So I got prepared. Got the 50 more kills. The good thing is that we know that the boss who is going to spawn in here in a moment is probably not going to fall down, even if we get a tap in on him. But we didn't. He spawned in, having a nice, respectful distance to us, and I appreciate that. Means a lot to me. Would have liked to get that, I can't. Potency on the Bloodlust instead, making us faster and swing faster too. Really want to have some duration increases on that one though. Those are kind of hard to come by. Increased potency yet again, but also damage increase. Double, slash, subdue, and festering strike. That's good. I just realized that thrust also has its own category. Could also have been just a swing. I wonder why that isn't the case. Maybe that should be the case. Whatever, rest. We keep on moving. We are almost 40% done. That's not entirely accurate. Once we have 1,000 kills, we will have met 40% of the kill requirement, but after that we still have to defeat all the bosses, Columeth and Alexis, in multiples. Which should be something we can do. At least I hope so. Yeah, we should. Oh, you was a bit closer than I thought he would be, so let's just dash all the way over here. Got a bunch of small enemies. Maybe we should just stand here in the corner for a little bit, because we know that that actually makes enemies a bit faster in the spawning process. And when the bosses get close enough to me to move, then we will know that, and then we can just react accordingly. I think that's actually a small play. Let's do this. Let's see. Maybe it wasn't a small play. Yeah, no, it was the worst idea possible, because no matter where they are, they will use the AoE attacks against me, and they will just put poison and ice beneath me, and then I can't stand still. Yeah, no, that was stupid. That was stupid. That was very stupid of me. What was I thinking? So stupid. Alright, don't mind me. Just slapping some fools around a little bit more. I guess the general idea of just moving to the corners is still pretty valid, though. Just need to be mindful about the poison that Alexis is dropping below me. Because it's probably going to be Alexis and all of these Viper enemies, those snakes, that are going to do that a lot. It's disgusting. It's honestly disgusting. What you gonna do about it? Alexis, stay away. Multicast the subdue. That's going to be huge in terms of killing the boss later down the line. We actually have gotten quite a few upgrades on the Thunderclap as well. I doubt from the bottom of my heart that it is going to be super substantial in our overall damage dealt. But I would like the idea. I like the idea that it actually ends up being contributing in here. Kind of weird not having might around. That's probably going to be a bit of a hindrance as well. But it is what it is. Gangrene. Every time you apply fragility, also applying bleeding, which can also apply stuff. Would have liked to have the multicast and subdue there too. But I do believe that having more bleeding is going to be useful too. Ah, was it actually? We only can apply that with subdue. Subdue has a pretty low cooldown. And we do have quite a bit of multicast on it. And it's kind of... It's basically powering itself, because it deals extra damage for having bleed on the target. But if you also apply the bleeding effect with it itself, it kind of makes sense, right? Kind of makes sense. It's very reasonable. Oh, we got a small army of fellas over here. And these scum lords, they are right beneath me. So let's actually take a little bit of a curve around here. There's Colometh, the one we really don't want to touch. And the next boss is about to spawn in as well, and about 60 kills. Which is very, very soon. Very, very soon. But we're making steady progress in here. Once that boss spawns in, that's 60% through the hordes. And it's going to be right about now. Right about now. There we go. Where is he? Don't have eyes on him just yet. But he's somewhere behind us. Okay, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. That's good. Between the healing crystals, it's sometimes hard to see the markers for the bosses. But I'm still happy that those markers are there in the first place. Good. There's a lot of enemies up in here. Some of them pretty rough and troublesome. So it's probably a good thing that we took them out right here, right now, when we did. And a few more over here. That was good progress. Got a level up too. Critical damage, yes. It really hurts my heart to not grab the occasional AoE size increase, really. I really would have liked to have them, but it is what it is. Keep going forward. Straight through these enemies who dare to stand in my path. Only 300 more enemies until the next boss spawns in. Oh. Ooh, they're all there. Okay, that's actually good, because now we know that they are there, so we can progress into some other directions with impunity. I have to say, I think I'm going to replace the Bloodlust, man. If there's going to be a might being offered, I'm replacing. We didn't get any upgrades on it, and it feels like it's not doing anything right now. And I'm probably just going to not take it anymore in the future. It's just... It ends up being a disappointment more often than not. Even though this would have been the prime run for it to shine bright like a diamond, because we could have also used the movement speed it provides. But it just disappoints me. Has been over-nerfed way too hard to the point of obscurity, and it's super sad. It has a way too long cooldown, and the actual effect just does way too little. Just because the values themselves are very, very small, but also because of how cooldown reduction now works since the shifts. It's just not doing enough, especially when compared to other buffs, which at this point is just might, which is just very strong and very simple to build around. No. Okay, the boss is actually straight ahead of me. I need to be careful about that. I don't want to accidentally get knocked into a boss like that. Damage on my physical stuff, 50%. Thank you. That is exactly the thing that we need in order to succeed and to live this life. You cannot in this direction, I don't mind that. How deep is your deep squad? How do you say it? Ass to grass? That's how you do that? I actually was really diligent about doing squads legit ass to the grass, as deep as possible. I actually went a little bit away from that at some point, because there's different squad variants where you just don't do that, which are still very good and beneficial for you. And sometimes I just don't feel like having my ass touch the grass. I know everybody's like, yo, go out and touch grass. Oh. Sometimes I just like my ass to not touch anything. That was probably one of the weirdest fitness talks I've ever had in my life. Let's pretend like that never happened. Keep on going forward. That's good. There's the fourth boss. The 4th boss already. Not gonna lie, this kind of felt like a breeze. This last wave. It feels like we have a little bit of a rhythm developed in here. And I like it. But the hardest enemies have yet to come. And this is also going to take... how many kills? Is it 400? Until we see the last one. Something along those lines. They're all to the left, to the right of me immediately, which I don't like. Feels like they have kinda made the center their home. Which I don't want them. I would rather have them be somewhere on the sidelines. Alright, that's gonna be fine. It's going to be fine as hell. Oh yeah, we still need 520 units. This is gonna take a while. This is gonna be the long stretch before we can finish. Makes area attack we have better. We're probably not going to get another level up, so we're probably stuck with this poor Bloodlust, man. What was I thinking? I mean, I know what I was thinking. In theory, it makes sense. Hey, I'm gonna walk super fast, I'm gonna attack super fast, and everything is going to get slashed into pieces right in front of me. It's gonna be great. What a fool I was. What a fool I was. Nothing else. Destroyed another healing crystal that I really did not want to destroy. I feel like a proper fool too. But we're still here. And we're still making enemies suffer. And we only need 430 or so more. Getting there. And since we're getting there, I can get anywhere. It's 2 of both. I hope the last one is going to be an Alexi too. We actually are going to get another level up. I don't know if that's going to give us an ability though. And if it's going to give me an ability, I don't know if it's going to be an ability I actually want. Oh, the dream! The dream. Okay, the Might is not going to have 100% uptime in here, but it's still going to help. It still has a very good uptime. 16.7 seconds of cooldown. It's pretty okay. And giving 75% extra damage to everything. That's going to be a huge help. I like that. That was... not gonna lie, that was super convenient. Now I feel a little bit smarter about myself. I'm gonna pretend like I calculated all of that. Of course, that was a bunch of baloney, and everybody knows. Yeah, 2 Alexis exist in a row. We also had that happen on the last, or the second to last attempt. We had it happen on one of the attempts. It's not alternating strictly, it's just based on random. Which is why you never... feel good about seeing Colometh, because every time you see Colometh, you know that it also could have been Alexis instead. But no, Colometh had to be like, hey, look at me, I'm here, and I'm going to ruin your experience. That's me, Colometh. Nobody likes Colometh. Nobody. I have talked to everybody, everywhere, and we had the discussion, we came to the agreement, nobody likes you, Colometh. Ooh, a big duration upgrade. Nice. That was a huge increase on the uptime. Where were those 4 Bloodlusts when it could have mattered, game? Seriously. Okay, we still need 250 enemies. There might be one more level up for us too. Before we actually have to fight the bosses. What I can tell. So we can actually backtrack a little bit in here, get some damage done, and I have a few regrets about having done that. Not too many. There's actually a healing crystal. Let's go. Finally, one of those crystals actually mattered. Damn. There's another one down below us. 2 actually. I would like to not accidentally pop them, so let's actually try to go a little bit more towards the right in here. There's a spider behind me. Nasty. These spiders are actually a huge problem because those spider webs that they spit out, they can slow you down. And we don't want to get slowed down. We do not. Comes down a little more. And I don't want to have problems, I want to solve problems. Problems that just exist. Not problems that someone accidentally or willful created into existence, because those problems, they are super necessary. Ah, that's my job talking out of my again. What gives? Keep moving forward. Only 100 more. We're closing in. Getting closer in. There was a column attack, and I was not there for it. I was not having that. Good. This works. Don't care for these. Cast frequency on the double slash. So now we're gonna take the extra 10% on everything. Everything. We need 40 more. 40 more. Closing in again. Don't run into any of these fools accidentally. Don't destroy the crystal by accident. I think I did not. That's good. Let's remember that being there for later. Also, don't need to remember that because we have our fancy markers here on the map, which is great. And there we go. 5 columns. This one's the big one, the last one that spawned in. So we're gonna try smacking him around a little bit. That's one. That's the big one out first. Now for you, Alexis. He tried to Nova me, but we were not there for it. There's the smallest column gone for good. There's a bunch of enemies around me. But we're getting there, and since we're getting there, another one bites the dust. Vicious strikes for the finishing touches. Not gonna do much against the bosses, but against maybe some of the ads. Oh, no. Don't get hit by those. Oh. Column. Someone died. Good. And now it's only Alexis. Vindication! There we go. We won this. Oh, the dream. That is also the highest level I've ever had in this game, I think. 59. 10 away from being a super nice number. But there we go. Oh my days, that was rough.